coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I am the board game teacher. Welcome to the classroom. On today's episode, I was going to be talking about the social and physical benefits of modern board gaming. But as it turns out, doing more research, I found that there's actually so much to talk about on each of the topics that I'm going to be splitting it up into two parts. Where today I'm going to be looking at the physical aspects and benefits of board gaming, and next week I'll delve into the social benefits of board gaming. So, let's get right to it. Yeah, the first benefit of board gaming is laughter. Studies have shown that when kids are in an environment where they feel relaxed, where they feel happy, where they feel safe, and this is what laughter, when they're laughing, this is how they'll be feeling, then they tend to learn things more easily. So if they're doing a board game right, if they're not getting all upset and losing their temper over the game, then they'll be laughing, they'll be having a good time, and then through that then any skills that they're picking up, whether it be math skills, language skills, social skills, will all be learned and developed more easily than if they're in a traditional, classroom environment where maybe they're a bit stressed out or pressured, because they don't know particular skills. Take the stress away, play a game, let them laugh, they'll do a lot more learning. Laughter can also decrease stress in kids. So, and adults, so anybody who is playing board game, having a good time laughing, the chemicals produced in the brain during laughter can reduce stress, and that's a good thing. Another thing that laughter can do is to increase the cells that fight infections and fight antibodies in us, so which makes us more resistant to diseases. So all of this just comes from laughing. So however you want to make the kids laugh, that's up to you. But for me, I strongly suggest crack out the board game, have some fun. There's actually one more thing which laughter can do, which triggers endorphins. Endorphins are the body's natural way of just making us feel good. And they're also great pain relievers too. So if there's some mild pains or whatever, just sometimes just laughing can help to ease some of that. So again, board games can be one way that we can physically relieve pain by just laughing. Another benefit of board gaming is the development of fine motor skills. Whether it's something as simple as rolling dice across a board or moving pieces across the board, fine motor skills are in play, especially when some students still have trouble keeping dice on the table when they roll it, or knocking all the pieces around when they roll the dice. Teaching those skills to those kinds of students to help them to learn how to do these things more carefully is a simple example of fine motor control. There's also games which are more specifically focused on fine motor development and fine motor skills, which would be classified in modern board gaming as dexterity games. Dexterity games, a very common, popular example of a dexterity game that many people know of is Jenga, where you're simply pushing blocks out or pulling them out and then putting them on top and repeating that until the whole tower of blocks falls. And another one that's well known by many people is Crokinole, flicking pieces across a circular board, trying to get to certain points on the board to score. There are other examples of dexterity games which aren't as well known, such as pitch cars, where you're flicking cars across a racetrack, or junk art, which is one of my personal favorites, where you're building sculptures of junk according to different requirements depending on which exhibit you're at around the world. Great fun. So through the development of fine motor skills, students will learn hand-to-eye coordination, and they'll also learn manual dexterity skills. This would be great for any kind of occupational therapy they might be going through due to an injury or accident, or it could be something ongoing in a special education class where students need that kind of development of the fine motor skills. But even for all classrooms, I think there's a place for the development of fine motor skills through the use of board gaming. If you have any questions about specific needs that you want met in your classroom or at your home, please feel free to leave me a message in the comment section below, and I'll get right back to you on that. Always would love to hear from the viewers. And not all of those health and benefits are for the kids. Well, we hope the kids don't have high blood pressure, but one thing that board games can do is lower the blood pressure in adults and in children. You know, again, those endorphins that were mentioned before, as they make the body feel good, you know, it also helps the body feel relaxed. As the body relaxes, the muscles relax, which then in turn helps to lower blood pressure. Blood pressure can be associated with such things as artery damage, heart disease, and stroke. So please, before you have any serious ailments, play a board game. Help get yourself better. And the final thing I wanted to mention today was mental health. The brain is like a muscle. If you work it out, it becomes stronger. Studies have shown this. In fact, the British Medical Journal put out a study where they said that by playing, well, not only by playing board games, but by keeping the brain active, that you can stave off such things as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So, you know, just by keeping the brain engaged, active, and involved, it just works out the brain, keeping it stronger, so as you get older, it doesn't deteriorate. So that sounds like a great reason to play board games to me. They did mention board games in the study specifically. In fact, they said that board games are better for our brain and keeping it active and to help reduce the risks of Alzheimer's and dementia than even reading, gardening, or some of those other leisurely activities which we do, which aren't as mentally engaging as a board game might be. So again, go board games. And that wraps it up for today's episode. Hopefully there was something in there that you found interesting, or maybe that you didn't know before and can now say that you can have some more reasons, more excuses to get some of those board games out more often. If you have any questions or comments about today's episode, or maybe some suggestions of something you might like to see in the future, please leave me a message in the comment section below and I'll get right back to you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Craig Thompson Wood, the board game teacher, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easy.